Ladies and gentlemen, you owe it to yourself in 2025. Not to your parents, not to your friends, not to the people on social media who clap when you win and disappear when you struggle. You owe it to yourself. Too many of us are still waiting for someone to give us permission, waiting for somebody to validate our dream, waiting for the perfect moment to start. The truth is, there is no perfect moment, no magic handout, no savior who will pull you into your destiny. The day you stop waiting and start moving is the day you start living. You don't need permission. You need commitment. Motivation feels good, but it doesn't last. It's like a spark. It lights up the room for a second, then fades. Discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. Discipline is when you get up at 5 a.m., even though you don't feel like it. Discipline is showing up when your body hurts, when your mind is tired, when nobody is cheering. Discipline is what separates the ones who talk from the ones who finish. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to stop chasing the feeling of motivation and start chasing the standard of discipline. And when life punches you, and it will, you can either fold or you can use that pain as fuel. Every struggle you face this year is not designed to destroy you, but to develop you. The pressure is proof you're being prepared for more. The pain is not punishment, it's preparation. You can either waste your struggle or you can let it refine you into the version of yourself that your destiny requires. You also owe it to yourself to protect your time and energy. Not every call deserves to be answered. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every person deserves access to your vision. Energy is the most valuable currency you have in 2025, and you can't keep spending it on people and things that don't multiply your growth. If it drains you, it doesn't deserve you. And through all of it, remember that the outcome is not the only prize. The process is where you become who you're meant to be. Everybody wants the spotlight, but few want the sweat that builds the strength to stand in it. Don't despise the grind. Don't skip the small steps. Every rep, every late night, every quiet sacrifice. Those are the bricks that build your future. At the end of this year, you'll either have excuses or results, but you won't have both. Excuses can't build legacy. Excuses won't feed your family. They won't inspire your kids. They won't echo after you're gone. Legacy comes from showing up when it's hard, from choosing sacrifice over comfort, from leaving a mark that proves you didn't just exist. You lived with purpose. So when you look in the mirror in 2025, remind yourself you owe it to you. Not to be perfect, but to be relentless. Not to be comfortable, but to be faithful to the gift you've been given. The world doesn't owe you anything, but you owe yourself everything. Stop waiting for permission. Too many people sit on the sidelines of life, holding on to their dream, holding on to their vision, holding on to their calling, waiting for somebody to say, now is your time. But if you keep waiting for the world to validate you, you'll waste the very gift that was put inside of you. Nobody is going to come knock on your door and hand you your destiny. Nobody is going to show up with a certificate that says you're qualified. The truth is, you're already qualified the moment you decided to believe. Think about it. How much of your life have you already wasted waiting? Waiting until you feel ready. Waiting until people understand. Waiting until the timing looks perfect. The danger of waiting is that someday becomes never. The graveyard is filled with people who carried dreams they never acted on because they were waiting for the right moment, and that moment never came. You don't need the world to clap for you before you start. You don't need people to understand your vision before you build it. If you keep living for the applause, you'll die from the silence. The truth is, most people won't believe in you until you show them the results. And by the time they see it, you'll already be living it. When you step forward without permission, you activate courage. You stop being a prisoner of opinions and become a person of conviction. Every major breakthrough in history came from someone who refused to wait for the world's approval. They moved, they acted, they sacrificed, and they created. That's what you owe to yourself in 2025. Stop asking, am I ready? And start declaring, I'm willing. Willing to try, willing to fail, willing to grow. Because at the end of the day, hesitation steals more dreams than failure ever will. You don't need permission to begin. You need the courage to take the first step. And the moment you take that step, you've already separated yourself from the crowd that's still waiting. Discipline over motivation. That's the difference between people who start strong and people who finish strong. Motivation feels good. It gives you that rush, that spark, that fire in the moment. But here's the problem. Motivation doesn't wake you up at 4:30 in the morning when it's cold outside. Motivation doesn't push you through the pain when your body aches and your mind tells you to quit. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings fade. Discipline is a decision, and decisions shape your destiny. You can't build a life, a dream, or a legacy on feelings. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere worth going. The truth is, there are going to be more days in 2025 when you don't feel like doing the work than days when you do. And on those days, it's discipline that carries you. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. Discipline doesn't ask if you're in the mood. Discipline says, we do this because this is who we are. The greatest athletes, the most successful leaders, the people who inspire us, they're not special because they're motivated all the time. They're special because they built habits so strong that they show up regardless of how they feel. And when you show up day after day, brick after brick, without skipping, without cutting corners, you start to build something unstoppable. Think about it like this. Motivation is the spark that starts the fire, but discipline is the wood that keeps it burning. Without discipline, your fire burns out the moment the wind blows. But with discipline, even when the storm comes, your flame stays alive. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to stop chasing the high of motivation and start training the muscle of discipline, because motivation will get you started, but discipline will make sure you finish. Motivation is a moment. Discipline is a lifestyle, and lifestyles are what shape legacies. Turn pain into purpose. Every single one of us is going to face pain in 2025. Pain of disappointment, pain of failure, pain of loss, pain of sacrifice. But the question is not whether pain will come. The real question is, what will you do with it? Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? Pain is not the enemy. Pain is information. Pain is showing you where you need to grow, what you need to change, and how strong you really are. See, the difference between people who stay stuck and people who rise is not the amount of pain they face, but what they decide to do with it. Some people let pain harden them, turn them bitter, make them quit. Others use pain as fuel, as a teacher, as a reminder that if they can survive this, they can survive anything. That's where purpose is born, not in comfort, but in struggle. Think about the strongest parts of your life right now. They didn't come from easy days. They came from the nights you cried but didn't quit. They came from the moments you were broken but chose to keep moving forward. That pain carved something into your soul that ease never could. It gave you perspective. It gave you strength. It gave you a story. Purpose is found when you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? How can I use this? Maybe the pain you're experiencing isn't just for you. It's so you can encourage somebody else, so you can show others it's possible, so you can become an example of resilience. Your pain becomes your testimony when you decide it won't end with you. It will flow through you. In 2025, don't waste your pain. Don't bury it. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Face it, embrace it, and transform it. Because pain can be your prison, or pain can be your platform. And the moment you turn pain into purpose, you become unstoppable. Protect your time and energy, because in 2025, those are the two resources you can't afford to waste. Time is the one thing you'll never get back. And energy is the fuel that determines how far you can go. The truth is, some people are not running out of potential, they're running out of focus. They're pouring their energy into distractions, into drama, into people who don't respect their vision, and then they wonder why they feel empty. You've got to guard your time like it's treasure, because it is. Not every conversation deserves your presence. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every person deserves access to you. Sometimes the greatest strength you can show is not fighting every battle, but choosing the ones that matter. If you give yourself away to everything, you'll have nothing left for the things that truly count. Protecting your energy means being intentional about where you place it. Who you surround yourself with matters. If the people around you drain your spirit, question your growth, or keep pulling you back into old habits, then you've got to set boundaries. Protecting your energy isn't about being selfish. It's about being wise. Because you can't build the life you want if you're constantly weighed down by people and things that don't align with your purpose. There will always be distractions knocking at your door. Social media will steal your hours. Negative people will steal your peace. Excuses will steal your drive. You've got to decide that your energy is too expensive to be spent on things that don't multiply you. Put your time into growth. Put your energy into discipline. Put your focus into the mission. In 2025, protect your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. Every yes you give is a seed you plant. Every hour you waste is an hour you'll never see again. Protect your time. Protect your mind. Protect your spirit. Because when your energy is guarded, your purpose is unstoppable. Embrace the process, not just the outcome. Too many people want the reward without the work, the spotlight without the grind, the finish line without running the race. But the truth is, the outcome is just a snapshot in time. The process is where the transformation happens. The process is where you earn the right to stand on the stage, to wear the crown, to hold the trophy. Without the process, the outcome means nothing. See, the process is where you build your character. It's in the early mornings when nobody is watching, the late nights when nobody is clapping, the sacrifices that nobody will ever thank you for. That's where greatness is born. The process humbles you, stretches you, teaches you discipline, forces you to confront your weaknesses, and builds the resilience you'll need to carry the blessing when it finally comes. If all you care about is the outcome, you'll quit too soon, because outcomes don't happen overnight. The road is long, and it's filled with setbacks, delays, and disappointments. But if you learn to fall in love with the process, if you learn to value every rep in the gym, every page in the book, every hour of practice, every lesson in failure, you'll realize that the process itself is the prize. The process is shaping you into someone who's not only capable of reaching the destination, but strong enough to sustain it once you get there. In 2025, don't just chase the result. Build habits that anchor you. Celebrate the small wins that nobody sees. Trust that every brick you lay, even the ones that seem insignificant, is building a foundation you'll one day stand tall on. Because the process doesn't just give you the outcome, it gives you the growth, the wisdom, the strength, and the identity that no one can take away from you. Fall in love with the grind, and the outcome will take care of itself. Legacy over excuses. At the end of the day, you can either hand the world a list of reasons why you didn't do it, or you can hand the world proof that you did. Excuses are easy. They're comfortable. They let you off the hook. They make failure feel justified. But excuses never built a family, never built a dream, never built a legacy. Excuses only keep you in the same place, repeating the same cycle, living the same story over and over again. A legacy, on the other hand, requires sacrifice. It requires showing up when it's hard, staying disciplined when it hurts, and choosing purpose over comfort. Legacy means you take ownership, no matter the circumstances. It means you stop pointing fingers and start taking responsibility. Because when you live in excuses, you're saying the power to shape your future belongs to everything but you, your past, your circumstances, your doubts. But when you choose legacy, you take that power back. You say, I control my effort. I control my discipline. I control what I leave behind. Think about it when you're gone. Nobody will care about the excuses you made. Nobody will remember why you didn't chase the dream, why you didn't push through, why you didn't finish. They'll only remember what you built, how you lived, and what you left behind. The excuses die with you, but the legacy outlives you. In 2025, you owe it to yourself to stop rehearsing reasons and start creating results. Every excuse you make robs you of the opportunity to make an impact. And every time you choose legacy, you deposit something into the future that will outlast you. So ask yourself, do you want to be remembered for excuses or for impact, for what you could have done or for what you actually did? Because one day, your name will be spoken by people who never met you, and it's up to you whether it's spoken an example or as a warning. Legacy over excuses, always. When it's all said and done, 2025 is not about what the world owes you. It's about what you owe yourself. You owe yourself the courage to stop waiting for permission and step boldly into your calling. You owe yourself the discipline to keep moving when motivation fades. You owe yourself the strength to take your pain and turn it into purpose. You owe yourself the wisdom to guard your time and energy like your future depends on it, because it does. You owe yourself the patience to embrace the process, to grow through the grind, to let the journey shape you into someone stronger than the destination ever could. And above all, you owe yourself the commitment to choose legacy over excuses, because one day your name will echo in rooms you'll never walk into. This is the year to stop shrinking, stop delaying, stop doubting. No more waiting, no more blaming, no more playing small. 2025 is the year you look in the mirror and declare, I owe it to me. I owe it to my future. I owe it to my purpose. And the greatest payback you can ever give yourself is to live fully, give relentlessly, and refuse to quit. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need another excuse. It needs your example. And the greatest gift you can give yourself and everybody who will come after you is to live a life that proves you didn't just exist in 2025. You showed up, you gave everything, and you left a legacy that cannot be erased.